The Louisiana timber industry remains the top agricultural moneymaker for the state. According to the LSU Ag Center, forestry in 2010 had an economic impact of nearly $3.1 billion. For this week's Bottom Line, we again find Neil Melancon over in West Baton Rouge Parish at the Wilbert Sons Land Management area. And Neil, it looks a lot greener than when you and I were there back in February.
Mike, it is considerably greener out here than the last time, not the least of which are the seedlings that were so carefully planted among the clear cut.
And it hasn't been easy for all this greenery in the 4 months since we've been here, though. A drought has gripped Louisiana since at least the beginning of April, and while South Louisiana has received some rain since then, it's hard on these new seedlings.
There's at least 4 seedlings, sometimes a little more within a plot.
Vic Blanchard, timber and land manager for Wilbert Sons property, says the seedlings are fairly resistant, establishing deep roots in this wet clay soil.
Once the growing season comes, these plants flush out and they really get to rolling.
What's not so resilient, however, has been the housing market, which has seen a double dip, a problem not only for home prices, but for the long-term prospects of timber prices.
There's a lot of timber right now being what we call stored on the stump. People just choose not to sell it right now because of the low prices. There'll probably be a huge supply once demand does come back, and probably won't see any increase in prices due to that huge supply.
Still, Blanchard expects the market to recover in time, just the way this clear-cut area will, growing into a new forest. In the meantime, it's providing another value, a good source of food for all the wildlife that utilizes this land.
This is a white-tailed deer paradise. All the preferred deer species, browse species are out there right now. They're young and tender, and this is basically a supermarket for white-tailed deer. Rabbits, same thing. This can carry a whole lot of rabbits. You'll find some bobwhite quail in here and a whole host of neotropical migrants, or songbirds. Those that prefer that younger succession of vegetation will be found in these type of clear cuts.
The bottom line here is that even though times are tough for the timber industry, it's a resilient one, much like the trees they plant. And they know it will bounce back at some point here, Mike. And as Vic said, they can just store it on the stump until then.
And Neil, let's hope they don't have to store it for too long. Neil Melancon, thanks. And if you'd like to hear any of Neil's reports, you can listen to him daily on the Louisiana Farm Bureau Radio Network. For a list of stations where you can tune in or listen online, click on over to our website, twilatv.org, and look for the link called LFB Radio Network on the left side of the home page. That does it for this edition of This Week in Louisiana Agriculture. Join us again next week when we'll wrap up our look at the Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation's Young Farmers and Ranchers Achievement Award finalists. Until then, you can watch any of our stories online. Go and visit our website, twilatv.org. For all of us here at This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, I'm Michael Dana. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Hope to see you again right here next week.